Hi folks, just a reminder to check out my other channel, How to Rock Spirit, where I talk about psychedelic spirituality and astrology. Hope to see you there. Good evening everybody, my name is Dustin Cormier and you're watching How to Rock a Campfire. Today's lesson is going to be on a song called It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding by Bob Dylan. I love this song. I love this song so much. Obviously, you know, like I like to do a lot of rockin' campfire-y sort of songs, but I love the poetic folk era of the 60s and, I mean, even like, you know, the 50s, 60s, 70s. That's really mostly where my thing is sort of at. Mind you, I'm in a band and I'm in a rock band and I love that scene too, but I'm always writing my own tunes, I'm always writing my own poetry, my own lyrics, and I really, I idolize Bob Dylan. And for, like, any poet that loves, like, lyrics and stuff, this is probably one of Bob Dylan's best songs. I mean, like, it's obvious. When you listen to some of the lyrics in here, the one thing that I really love to get out is, you know, he not busy being born is busy dying. It's an incredible lyric. It's like, you're either switched on or you're switched off, man. You know, you're either aware, you know, zen, aware in the present moment, consciously being who you're supposed to be, or else you're just unconscious, man. It's all just going through and you're already dead. And you're busy, if you're not busy being born, then you're busy dying. That's just one example of all the, I mean, this is really a very Mars-ish sort of song in the sense that if you consider Venus, I'm an astrology guy, Venus is, represents beauty and sensual, the sensual artistic beauty of a thing. Someone who writes Venusian poetry is much more of the beauty. Whereas this is a Mars thing. Mars, I like to say Mars is the adults only show. It doesn't matter how it feels or how it looks. What matters is what it does. And this song is all about what it is. It's about the philosophy that he's trying to get across, you know? There's not a whole lot of pulling punches, so to say. It's just all about this deep philosophy. And the big thing in the song, obviously, is that it's called It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding. Now, I'm into psychedelics too. When you get into psychedelics, you start to, like, I'm into transcendentalism and all this stuff, and I'm into reality. Feeling reality no matter what reality throws at you, trying not to unconsciously get away from the reality of life. You can think of in Bob Dylan's time, you know, this is just the 60s, and I think he had a mom that was a 50s consciousness mother who would just go in the kitchen, wipe all the dishes as long as everything's nice and clean and neat, you know, and everything looks nice and tidy, then everything's okay and everyone's happy. Whereas Bob Dylan, being a young youth in this time, is trying to break out of limits, break out of his karmic boundaries, his limitations. He's trying to express his soul. And a lot of times, transcendence of our limiting patterns requires the flux of emotion, the flux of pain. And his mom isn't used to this idea, you know, just like, keep your pain under the carpet, you know, no one wants to see it, no one wants to hear it because it's frightening, you know. This 50s style consciousness, or even a lot of older folks, you know, the your mother, where you come from, the womb, is always going to be contracting you, wanting you to not break through. And he's saying to his mother, you know, don't fear if you hear a foreign sound to your ear. It's alright, Ma, I'm only sighing, you know? It's like, Mom, be okay with the fact that I'm not content. It's a divine discontent, you know what I mean? That's what Bob Dylan's expressing in this song, is a divine discontent with his current situation because it can always be better. It's alright, Ma, I'm only sighing. I'm only dissatisfied. I'm only growing, you know? And we need to be able to realize that, you know, to be able to sigh and to just accept whatever depression that you're feeling, you know. I like to say, don't dissuade yourself from radical anxieties about the system that you're living in, because then you won't want to fix it, right? don't dissuade yourself from natural, radical anxieties about a broken system that you're living in, or else you won't want to fix it. You won't want to transcend it, to go on to the next thing. Anyway, that's longer than a philosophical dissertation that I usually give. So, obviously, if anyone wants to just listen to the lesson of the song, they could just skip this whole philosophy thing and go right to the, if you look in the description, all of my videos will always say the actual song cover, the actual lesson starts, and then the actual song cover starts. And you can always feel free to skip my crap and go right to the guts of playing the song if you like. So, oh yeah, okay, so first thing I should mention is that this song is in drop D. For those of you that don't know what I just did, I basically just took my E string. Obviously, the D string is going to be the same note as the low D. And all you want to do is hit your low E string all the way until it's the same note as your D string. Now, another fact about this song is that it is played with the capo. I got this funky old style capo. It's played with the capo on the 5th fret. So that's what we're doing. So we got the capo on the 5th fret. I'm just spinning it up because this damn old capo just takes forever. Come on down, dude. So once your low D is tuned to, or once your E string is tuned to the low D, put your capo on the 5th fret, and then you're playing a G chord. So basically what you're hearing really is a G chord. It's like a G chord with, obviously, with a low G, right? This is basically your low G note just brought up. But we're playing, when I say it's a G chord, I'm playing a D style chord, but what you're actually hearing because of the capo, since the capo's on the 5th fret, you're going to hear the 4th of the note. The 4th of the D chord is actually a G chord. So this song is in G, you know, they were going from G, B flat, C, B flat, G, sort of like a bluesy kind of thing, right? But anyway, though it's in the key of G, I'm actually going to be saying the chord shapes that you're seeing on the guitar, just so that there's no confusion, right? And so now this song basically starts off, the main thing he's sort of doing is a lot of the times you'll be hitting 2, 3, 4. It's a 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chugga, 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 chugga. That's sort of like the main beat we got going on. At least for before we get to the verse. The verse is a whole different thing, and I'll explain. But for now, also when you go to that D, I like to accent or sort of hammer on your first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Right? Even when you go to the F style chord, you're still going to hammer on with your 2nd fret onto that second finger onto the 2nd fret of the G string. Basically what you're doing is going from the D chord. All of this is staying on the D on the bass. Just between these 3 chords. D chord, and then it's like an F with a D on the bass, and then it's like a G with a D on the bass, which is basically just taking that broken up F chord. Usually, obviously, if you're going to do an F chord, you bar your first finger on the top 2 strings, and you would do your F chord like this. But instead of doing that, you're just basically taking your 3rd finger and your pinky off so that the bass is still on the D chord. And you're going D/F, or F/D rather, right? So whenever you see a chord with a slash, it means that the chord on the right is going to be the bass note. So you've got F/D, which is an F on the face, and then D on the bass. F/D, G/D, F/D, and then D again. And then after that, when he comes back into the D, he'll usually do that little 3 times, and then on the 3rd time, he'll come back into the D, and he'll go down, down. And it's even kind of nice if you bend that note. What you're doing is you're taking your 2nd finger, put it on the 3rd fret of the A string, down, 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 down. And then another thing he does a lot is after that, you go take your 2nd finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the low E string, right? So it goes down, down, which is basically like a big fat. Technically, it's an F note because we're in drop D, right? A big F and then a big D. And you can even do that same thing on this D string because they're both D strings, right? And then you just kind of mix it up for a little bit of texture, you know what I mean? C, D, F, D, so that kind of stuff, right? And you kind of mix it up to go along with it. And then, so, that's just before we get to the verse. Now, when we actually get to the verse, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the main chords that he's playing through. You got to dig that Bob Dylan, this song, as I said, it's really much more about the words than the chords, but it's an interesting, a very, interesting thing that he's got going on here. It's almost like he's throwing rhythm out the window. There's still a rhythm that's just kind of his own rhythm that he's got going on. He's just got this constant 8th note flow. But he's making that flow go to the lyrics. The lyrics don't go to the song. Rather, he is playing the chords to go with the lyrics, okay? You got to get that. Because when you hear the song that the version that I'm thinking of is like a bootleg version, right? I couldn't really find a studio version of this song. So, yeah, and this is what I mean. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows, even the silver spoon, the handmade blade, the child's balloon, eclipses both the sun and moon. Now understand, you know too soon, there is no sense in trying. So pretty much you kind of throw out the rhythm until you get to that last note. There is no sense in trying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you go back to the 1, 2, 3, 4 after that little verse part. But while you're in the verse part, he's just kind of sort of on a rhythmless wheel that you kind of have to just sing the lyrics for and cater your guitar playing to it. Obviously, this isn't really a song you'd want to play in a band unless you all got it perfectly, and it'd be kind of weird, but it's a folk song. It's about the lyrics, right? So that's what we're doing there. And now I'm going to go through the chords, right? So it starts off D, darkness at the break of noon, shadows, even the silver spoon. So that 2nd chord is basically a G chord without the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, because we're in drop D, right? So you just got to completely just take out that low E string when you're doing these G chords. Excuse me. Then the 2nd chord, you're starting on the D, then you go to that G chord, then you go to the C chord, the handmade chail. So it's sort of like a C chord on the lower end, and then a G on the higher end. 2nd fret on the 3rd fret, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the A, 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then your 3rd and 4th finger don't move from that G chord. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows, even the silver spoon, the handmade child's balloon, eclipses both the sun and moon. You can even take your pinky off actually for the C chord and just leave the E string dangling open, and then you do even the same thing when you come back down on the 2nd time you do the G chord. The handmade blade, the child's balloon, eclipses both the sun and moon, right? So I've literally right now, I've just got my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And for this last chord, to understand, you know too soon, there is no sense in trying. That chord is basically B flat. It's like a B flat with a G, so it's like a B flat suspended diminished fourth, because the high E string isn't usually in a B flat, obviously. The G string is actually, the open G string sort of adds like a sixth. So this B flat chord is basically like a B flat sixth add diminished fourth, or diminished fifth rather, sorry, augmented fourth, whatever. Point is that all you're basically doing is going from that G slash, from that G chord and bringing it down so that your first finger is on the first fret of the A string, so it makes that sort of B flattish sort of chord. To understand you know too soon, there is no sense in trying. And then, so after every time you do the little verse, you do this little part in the 4/4. You do it 3 times, and then you come prepare for the next part with the little thing, with those bass stretches or the bass bends. Bow, bow, right? So that's basically the main thing for all these verses. Pointed threats they bluff with scorn, suicide remarks are torn from the fool's gold mouthpiece, the hollow horn plays wasted words, proves to warn that he not busy born is busy dying. Do that 3 times. And then so after you do the little verse part, how he does this is he does the little verse part 3 times. He's got 3 little verses full of lines, and then the 4th part of each section of each part of the song, the 4th part is sort of like a chorus or a bridge, I guess you could say, a refrain type thing. And he basically comes into that's the main part of the whole thing. It's, you know, so don't fear if you hear a foreign sound to your ear, and it's alright, Mom, I'm only sighing. So I'll just explain that chorus part. He doesn't always lag on the one chord there, but he does sometimes. And that's what I love about this song, is that if you're not ready on the lyrics, don't sing. You know what I mean? Just keep going, because this song is like, it's a beautiful thing for an artist to be able to have these words and then all the chords, and there's no structure. You gotta do it yourself, you know? It's an incredibly poetic thing. You have to be in the words. If you're not in the words of this song, don't play it, because people are listening to this song for the words, right? So don't fear, D, if you hear. Now when you go to this A chord, you gotta make sure you don't hit the low D string, because then that's just not part of the chord at all. And a lot of times I'll use my thumb just to deaden that low D string. So don't fear if you hear a foreign sound to your ear. So that's the G chord, right? And then he goes G, A, B, A, right? It's alright, Mom, I'm only sighing. As some warn victory, some downfall, private reasons, great or small, can be seen in the eyes of those that call to make all that should be killed to crawl. Others say blah blah blah, except hatred. So that's pretty much the whole song right there. God, he's got some good stuff in here. And though the rules of the road have been lodged, it's only people's games that you've got to dodge. And it's alright, Ma, I can make it, you know. Oh, and there's another great one in here. Because Bob Dylan is there's an incredibly compassionate sense of being with reality and having compassion for those that are whose stupid ideologies they subconsciously repress themselves because of the society that we're living in, and they unconsciously repress us. And this is why he says, but I mean no harm, nor put no fault on anyone that lives in a vault. But it's all right, Ma, if I can't please him. It's okay if I can't please everyone in society, because they don't even know what the fuck's going on, right? It's okay if I can't please them, Ma, you know? I don't need to. I got nothing to live up to. That's another one. Though the masters make the rules for the wise men and the fools, it's all right, Ma, I got nothing to live up to, you know? Beautiful, man. So, anyway, I've given you guys pretty much the guts of this song, and now I'm going to play it the whole way through for you. I'm going to try to go through all the words. You don't have to listen to the whole thing if you don't want to, but this is my cover of It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding by Bob Dylan. And hopefully all you poetic types out there can take this song and add it to your repertoire, and, you know, blow some minds with some deep lyrics, man. That's my stuff. I've got the lyrics here. I haven't memorized this song. It's a lot of lyrics, and hopefully if I play this song enough, 1,000 times, I'll be able to just rip this song. You know, if I'm ever stoned with a bunch of people and I'm trying to get some lyrical content rather than just entertainer, you know what I mean? I want to actually have more than just a song and dance, man, you know? So, yeah. This is It's Alright Ma by Bob Dylan, played by yours truly. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm just going to turn up my amplifier here. As I said, I've been trying to play some songs with my orange amp, trademark, and because every now and then, I don't know, I like, I'm just doing it, like, I prefer to be able to play these songs by myself at a campfire whenever, you know, but I've got this acoustic amplifier here to give me a little bit of extra juice on the guitar while I'm singing. Anyway, yeah, that kind of sounds kind of cool too. At the break of noon, shadows, even the silver spoon, the handmade child, the child's balloon, eclipses both the sun and moon. To understand, you know too soon, there is no sense in trying. As pointed threats they bluff with scorn, suicide remarks are torn from the fool's gold mouthpiece. The hollow horn plays wasted words, proves the warn that he not busy born is busy dying. Being born. Oh, it's a lot of words. Temptation's page falls to the floor. Temptation's page flies out the door. You follow, find yourself at war. Watch waterfalls and pity roar. You feel to moan, but unlike before, you discover that you just be one more person crying. I do like to actually use an F chord, not a full F chord, and then go into the G chord, but add your third finger every now and then, because it does add a little bit of presence to those chords anyway. Sorry. As some won victory, some downfall, private reasons, great or small, can be seen in the eyes of those that call to make all that should be killed to crawl, while others say don't hate nothing at all. their mark. Makes everything from toy guns that spark to flesh-colored Christ that glow in the dark. It's easy to see without looking too far that nothing much is really sacred. While preachers preach of evil fates, teachers teach that knowledge waits and lead to $100 plates. Goodness hides behind its gates, and even the President of the United States sometimes must stand naked. And though the rules of the road have been lodged, it's only people's games that you got to dodge. But it's alright, Mom, I can make it. Advertising signs they con into thinking you're the one that can do what's never been done, that can win what's never been won. Meanwhile, life outside goes on all around you. You lose yourself, you reappear. You suddenly find you've got nothing to fear. Alone you stand with nobody near, when a trembling distant voice unclear startles you sleepy ears to hear that somebody thinks they've really found you. Question in your nerves is lit, yet you know the answer is not fit to satisfy and sure you not to quit, to keep it in your mind and not forget that it is not he or she or ever it that you belong to. And although the masters make the rules for the wise men and the fools, I've got nothing more to live up to. Them that must obey authority, they do not respect in any degree, who despise their jobs, their destinies, speak jealously of them that are free, cultivate their flowers to be nothing more than something they invest in. While some on principles baptized, strict party platform ties, social clubs and drag disguise, outsiders they can freely criticize, tell nothing except who to idolize, and then say God bless him. While one who sings with his tongue on fire gargles in the rat race choir, bent out of shape from society's pliers, cares not to come up any higher, but rather get you down in the hole that he's in. But I mean no harm, nor put fault on anyone who lives in a vault. But it's alright, Mom, if I can't please him. Old lady judges watch people in pairs, limited in sex they dare, to push fake morals, insult and stare, while money doesn't talk and swears. Obscenity, who really cares? Propaganda is all phony. that defend what they cannot see with a killer's pride, security, it blows the minds most bitterly. For them that think that death's honesty won't fall upon them naturally, life must sometimes get lonely. False gods, I scuff at pettiness which plays so rough. Walk upside down inside handcuffs, kick my legs to crash it off. Say okay, I've had enough, what else can you show me? And if my thought dreams could be seen, but it's alright, Mom. It's life and life only. Whew, yeah, that is a tough one, man. It's definitely a long song, lots of lyrics and stuff, but I love Bob Dylan, man. I love poetry, and I'm going to start playing more Bob Dylan songs because I like this whole poetry thing. And hopefully any lyrical type poets out there will be able to take the easy chords in this song and just add it to your repertoire, you know what I mean? It's definitely a good song for anybody to add to a lyrical sort of repertoire. Anyway, that was It's Alright Ma by It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding by Bob Dylan. And I hope you guys enjoy. Or I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching my channel. I love you guys, and take care.